Good morning, everyone. We'll continue here in the words of the NIDCHEI, YISRAEL, speaking about the great schus, the tremendous merits and rewards that a person gets who learns Torah and protects and guards and upholds the Torah in a time when it is certainly not in fashion to do such things. We know what it says in the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos, Lefum Tza'ara, according to the effort that one expends, agra, that will be his reward. Naskil mizel l'das, let's understand, ki tigdal ma'alei so'isik b'Torah machzik ba kashi b'shval matzav, when a person who's learning Torah is living in a time that the Torah is very low on the totem pole of chashivos, of importance, and still you adhere to the Torah and you embrace the Torah and you learn the Torah, it's so much greater when you learn Torah in such a state of existence, when the world itself does not machshiv, does not give it the prominence that it deserves, than when you're living in a time where the whole world is dripping with the sweetness of Torah and their love of the Torah and their learning and their upkeeping of the Torah. Because then you have to gird all your strength to be able to uphold the Torah under such circumstances. And your payment according to the effort that you expend and according to all of the toil that you put into it. And you need to do even more because the Torah has been dropped down to the ground. So therefore your reward and your payment is going to be enormous. When you live in a time, says the Horowitz, where everybody's chasing after the Torah and everyone's learning the Torah, so okay, you get caught up in the fervor, and so you do it as well. So yeah, you're going to get rewarded, but the Mesiras Nefesh is not as great. But when you live in a time where Torah is shunned and it's looked down upon, and people don't live lives that is kulei Torah, that is completely Torah, so then you are pushing yourself even more, the reward is going to be greater. And since that in our days there's only a small handful that are mechazik, that are strengthening themselves in the ways of Torah, do not despair. You have no idea how what your madrega, what your level is viewed in Shemaim, in the heavens. How do you look, even though you might live in a place where there's not Gedolei Yisrael, not great leaders of Klal Yisrael. You don't have the biggest Talmidei Chachamim, Torah scholars and sages. You don't have movements of people that are learning and steiging and growing in Torah. And so you think to yourself, no, what am I? I'm a little pipsqueak over here. I'm a nothing compared to what was in the previous generations. I'm barely learning. I don't have the same insight. I don't have the same madregas of Torah that others had. I don't even have the seviva, the atmosphere and the yeshiva and everything around me. What have I achieved and what could I achieve? Says the Chavetz Chaim, never underestimate yourself. Who knows how lofty they are considered in Shemayim, in the heavens. Because sometimes one person is equivalent like 100 or 1,000 people. Chazal teaches al Avishai ben Surya shayeshakel keneged kama alafim. There was a man by the name of Avishai, and he was equivalent to 1,000 thousands of men, says Chazal over there. So therefore, kama alafim, how many thousands of people? One person in a generation that is torn asunder and that is lacking the connection to Torah and to learning, but you yourself stay close to it and sincere and dedicated and committed, so then you could be with 1,000 people from a previous generation. Everything according to the effort that you expend and the nisyona and the test over here that must be passed. Through this you will be tested if your heart is truly faithful to the Rebbeinu Shalom. V'chol she'is gadol nisyoinai. And the greater the challenge is going to be, tis gadol malosai, the greater his rank is going to be in Olam Haba as well. So don't think that just because we live in a generation where Torah is not what it once was, or you live in a town where Torah is not on the streets the way it is in other places like Bnei Brak and Yerushalayim, don't despair. It could be because that you stay stark and strong. You are worth thousands in the eyes of the Rebbeinu Shalom. Have a wonderful day.